Hey, fourth graders, I just want to say hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the first ever video that I've ever made on a YouTube channel, and I'm excited for you guys to be a part of it. These are how our math lessons are going to be as we move on into the future. But before we get to some math, I want to show you a little bit about me since I'm filming in my house, and this normally doesn't happen. So if you guys take a trip with me right over here, you'll see these nice pictures. You'll notice myself and my older sister Hannah, and you're probably asking yourself two things right now. One, man, that's a nice haircut you had back in the day, Mr. Russian. I would say thank you. My hair definitely has gotten a little less blonde. And two, you'd probably be asking, where's that crack come from? And I'll tell you the answer to that. And that comes from an intense ping pong battle between my brother and I. All right, let's get to some math. Hey, fourth graders. So our next unit will be continuing fractions from our last unit. It's also going to talk a little bit about decimals. But as we get started today, I want to do a little bit of some review. So if I have 2/5 and 3/5, I would ask you, which one's greater? Would it be 3/5 or 2/5? Well, you hopefully already know the answer to that, but if not, take a look at this little chart here. Okay, the purple rectangle represents one whole. The top one and the bottom one are broken up into fifths. The top one here would represent the 3/5 because I have 3 of the 1/5 boxes circled. The bottom one here would represent the 2/5 because I have 2 of the 1/5 boxes circled. Now, I can tell that this 3/5 is longer than the 2/5, therefore, I would know that 3/5 is greater than 2/5. Alright, I just want to give you guys some chance to practice here. I want you guys to order these from smallest to largest. You can go ahead and pause the video at this time. Order 5/8, 7/8, and 2/8 from smallest to largest. Hopefully you did pause the video and you did order these from smallest to largest. I just want to go over the answer really quick. So our smallest one will be 2/8. Our second smallest one will be 5/8, and our largest one will be 7/8. That brings us to our first key point of the day, and again, this should just be something that you already know, but the first key point that I have for today is if you have two fractions with the same denominator, and that means the fraction with the greater numerator is the greater fraction. Okay, we're going to do a little Dora the Explorer here. Okay, I'm going to say something. I need you to repeat after me, please. Okay, if you have two fractions with the same denominator, repeat after me, then the fraction with the greater numerator is the greater fraction. Okay, thanks for being goofy with me, guys. You guys are awesome. All right, so all last unit I told you guys that we were going to keep the denominator the same no matter what. Okay, now it's a new unit, so now we're going to change things up a little bit. Okay, if I have 1/3 and 1/6, notice I have the same numerators now, but different denominators. So it's a little different this time. Okay, now we need to compare 1/3 and 1/6. I have a couple different ways that we can compare them here. All right, again, our bar graph here that we had before for the other fractions, where we have 1/3 and 1/6 represented with a whole. This time we're in red, not purple. Okay, so I can see that my 1/3 box is bigger than my 1/6 box. Okay, we can also move it over to our pie chart here. I notice that 1/3 of my pie, or 1/3 of my circle, is colored in with red, and over here 1/6 of my pie is colored in with red. Okay, and just by looking at this, I can see that 1/3 is bigger than 1/6. Therefore, I'm going to say that 1/3 is greater than 1/6. All right, just like before, I want to give you guys some time to practice really quick. So I want you guys to order these in order from smallest to largest. Notice that the numerator is the same and the denominator is different. I have 1/4, 1/9, and 1/1. So you can pause the video right now and order this from smallest to largest. All right, hopefully you did pause the video and order this from smallest to largest. Hopefully you got 1/9 being the smallest, 1/4 being in the middle, and 1/1, which we all know equals 1, being the biggest fraction that I have on my board. I'm wondering if you have picked up on the little key point here, now with the numerators being the same and the denominators being different. But if not, here is the second key point of the day. If we have two fractions with the same numerator, the one with the lesser denominator is going to be the greater fraction. Okay, again with the Dora the Explorer here, repeat after me. If we have two fractions with the same numerator, then the fraction with the lesser denominator is the greater fraction. Awesome. All right, now that we have covered our 2 key points for the day, I want to give you guys a chance to practice. So I'm going to flip this up here. There's 4 problems. Notice I have a greater than and less than sign that kind of do look like that Pac-Man creature that we see in the video game. You guys are totally welcome to make it like a Pac-Man or just use the greater than and less than symbol. At this time, you may pause the video and write in your greater than and less than signs for my 4 questions. All right, hopefully you did pause it. And for this first one, right over here, we have 2/5 and 2/9. I know that 2/5 is greater than 2/9. Moving along over here, I have 2/7 and 3/7. I know that 2/7 is less than 3/7. Moving along down here, I have 4/5 and 2/5. I know that 4/5 is greater than 2/5. And lastly, I have 7/16 and 7/12. I know that 7/16 is less than 7/12. Right. I know that the homework has been emailed to you already. Feel free to go back to the video at any time, or you may reach out to me for any help or any questions that you might have. See you later, guys.